Welcome everybody to another installment of Untitled Discussion. I'm your host TJ Evans. So get ready. Like I said, I'm back with another episode of Untitled Discussion, and I have a good friend of mine. He hasn't been on the show for a minute. I'm glad he got to sit here and talk to me about this. I really want to talk to him. Tell him who you are.
What's up, fam? This is Philly. My friends know me as Philly. Some people know me as Aaron. But that's me here in the flesh with my boy TJ.
True.
As always.
As
What's
always.
Up, boy?
And do all the social media stuff where the people can follow you at.
215 Straight Flexing, IG. That's 215 STR, the number 8 Flexing. And I actually got a music page on there too. I'm trying to build it up. It's a link to it. It's the_Illy. So you'll see that if you go to the 215 Straight Flexing page.
True. And you can follow me at the TJ Evans, and also follow Royal Family Studios. All the pages on all social media platforms: YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff, and TikTok too. But Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the world, and I want to sit here and talk about it. I know recently the attack that just happened in Israel with Palestine, and the situation that's still going on in Ukraine with Russia, and Taiwan's on their toes about China. But I don't want to talk about the whole world. It really made me want to think about what's going on in America. Am I truly safe in America? Do you feel like you're safe here? Like with all the stuff, especially we're maybe on the brink of World War III.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're dealing with open border crisis. Like, is that really, do you feel safe in this country?
Safe as me or like as a black person?
Safe as you as first, and then,
In general?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one. Cause like, when you have an attitude or a perspective where it's like you don't dabble too far into this stuff, it's hard to have a strong opinion on it. But I wouldn't say safe. No, I don't think safe is a good word. I know we pride ourselves on the freedom here in these lands, and we have these amendments and everything that support those freedoms. And the state we live in, Georgia, is literally full of like free expression of self. So like, people can be whatever they want to be here, and to that extent, that freedom, there's security in that. But like, if we just talk about cut and dry, if a motherfucker want to come out here and blow something up, do I feel like we're safe from that? Kinda, but I don't like to put my faith in it.
I understand. And it's kind of hard to put your faith in a situation like that because you're dealing with men. Like, it's like you can't put your faith in men. So I will say, honestly, I feel kind of the same way that you do. Like, I don't feel safe here right now.
Yeah.
But the only reason is because there's just so much crazy stuff going on in the world. And at the same time, we're sending troops all over the world. And we're even getting involved in a situation that has nothing to do with us. At the same time, we're dealing with inflation here. People are committing crimes at a high rate here. And we have the open border, which is kind of another reason why I wanted to talk to you. Because, matter of fact, let's go back to you said, or as a black man. Answer that real quick.
Yeah, like, black people are starting to be... So I listen to a lot of influential black people, and high... There's this show I follow called High Level Conversations. A gentleman by the name of 19 Keys hosts that. Then there's these two other gentlemen that have a podcast called Earn Your Leisure. And they've had several people on there, even people like Kanye West, in general. So like, they've had people on their platform that have awakened us black people to our kingship. And so we know that when black people are feeling confident and strong and they recognize in themselves and starting to understand that puts a strain on what the white supremacists of this country want to have. And so, like, me saying not feeling safe, it's not about like, oh, I'm gonna get shot. It's more so like we're constantly being attacked in our food, in our water, in our education system, in our media and what they're promoting, and then they put so much emphasis on stuff that doesn't matter and wants to deter you from things that do matter. So there's where the feeling of uncertainty really comes from. And it's not really it's going from bad to worse the more we become more awakened in it. And so it's just like how people who try to share that information get they get killed. You know, it happened back in the day with Malcolm X and MLK and all of them, and now we have a modern day version of that with some of the people I belong to, especially like that I listen to. I mean, especially like those from the Nation of Islam. There's a gentleman named Rizza Islam who is extremely educated and pushes out information that empowers people. They killed Kevin Samuels, like all kinds of stuff like that. That's what leads me to think about like the feeling of not being safe.
So do you think, because I actually want to talk about these 3 stories that I listened to that I saw earlier, in this past week or so, and do you think that the whole Black Lives Matter movement was a positive or a negative when it came down to black people for helping us? Did you think it helped us or hindered us?
I don't know the extent of it, but just bringing awareness of that, I think that helped. Because even though we want equality in the world, there are differences in people, and there's differences in cultures, and there were things that happened to black people that needed to be acknowledged. And it needed to be not even just acknowledged, but it needed to be criticized, because it was diabolical, the things that were happening to black people. And it was a reenactment of things that we saw on, Kunta Kinte and shit. Like, it was just a reenactment of the same stuff that we read about in the books with slavery and the whippings and the beatings. It just was happening in modern times. And because certain stuff seems normal, people die all the time, people get shot, there's black on black crime as well as the other way around. It needed to be said, and it needed to be done to bring about awareness to the community on what happens to us.
I think they kind of, I think the Black Lives Matter movement,
do you think they didn't do it collectively, like organized or something like that?
No, the Black Lives Matter movement was organized, but what I will say is that they kind of put 100 on 10 when it came down to police brutality and police killing black people, because even with the Michael Brown situation that happened in Ferguson, hands up, don't shoot, people still believe in that narrative. But even Barack Obama had already said that, nah, that didn't happen, that's not what happened. I think that the actual movement, the people who ran the organization, I think they used it as a way as a cash grab, because there are race hustlers in the black community as well as in the white community and the mainstream media. And I think it hindered us so to a point where we pretty much said we don't care about our safety, because they were telling people that the police were bad and that we needed to defund the police. And then they were saying that the reasons why people were rioting in the street and destroying businesses and had insurance payments go up and all this stuff, that people were doing this for a good reason. I don't feel it was a good cause, because what it did was it made people unsafe in their own neighborhoods, and it also moved out several businesses. And there was this one story that I was looking at where in Philadelphia, where a man was killed by the police, and the corpse, they said that it was justified. They had a trial, said it was a justified shooting, let the police officer go. Next thing you know, there's a riot in Philadelphia. And there's a clip that I want to show people, but it's showing that these kids are out in the street rioting, and they're just destroying stuff and stealing stuff.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Free iPhones. Free iPhones. Free iPhones. Look, security running. Oh, what's up? They tracking us. They tracking us. Throw your iPhones. Throw your iPhones. Crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy. Ain't nothing. Oh my God, all these iPhones. And they still going on. Oh my God. Put that shit. Oh my God.
They're not taking food, they're not taking water, no toilet paper, they're taking clothes,
What they were doing was, though,
and Apple stuff.
They were showing that we have the ability to retaliate. So it might not have been, the most diplomatic way of doing it, but just showing, look, we gonna do something. I'm about to break something. I'm about to do something. It's kind of like that, and I think, even though it sounds stupid, it's kind of necessary. Because if you don't do nothing at all, it just, you basically rolling over for them, and you don't have you don't put no type of fear in them, to where, like, what's the next thing that they're gonna do? Take this away, take that away. So, even though that might not have been the smartest thing, doing something, I think it matters to do something.
But majority of the time, all right, let's just say, okay, they're retaliating. Majority of the time when they're retaliating, they're doing it in their own neighborhoods. So what happens is they destroy their own businesses. They destroy their own way of actually making money to provide for their family. So now they actually have to take a longer commute to go to their jobs, or even to the grocery stores leaving. Like, look at what happened in Target. Target said they're closing one of their stores, and Target and the other stores been closing down different stores across the nation. But Target is closing down their store in Harlem because they just keep getting robbed. It's not even just a riot. Right. It's like y'all are just actually looting daily.
Yeah. See, they use that momentum to keep doing it, and that wasn't really the point of it in the first place.
And what happened was that a lot of people felt that what they were doing was right because this man was killed by the police, and it's good to riot. But the white people who are cheering on it or even being involved in it, they don't have to deal with it because they're going to get bused right back out. They don't have to live here. And the black people who are getting involved with it, either they're cheering on and they're the ones who's actually taking the stuff, or they're the people who, let's say, the people who run the Black Lives organization, who get all the money and don't actually pay the families. And it's already been documented that they haven't paid the families, that they bought $1 million mansions and stuff. It's kind of, it just doesn't seem helpful.
Yeah.
Because think about all those people in these major cities, which are mostly occupied by black people. Now they have to go to another part of town to get some groceries, or they gotta go to a store that is more expensive. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of dangerous, because I think the narrative for the last couple of years, and we're seeing the evidence of it, it seemed like they were tricking people not to want to protect themselves. Even saying that we should take away guns, but it's like, how do I protect myself if I don't have a gun? You already said you wanted to fund the police, so it's gonna be harder for police officers to get here. But then you turn around and say that when somebody gets shot, that the only people, like when there's a mass shooting, the only people that need to have guns are the police. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So I just don't feel safe in the sense where there is no logic for people wanting to take away my freedoms. And even because you mentioned freedoms,
Yeah.
freedoms is something you should feel blessed that you have freedoms, but freedom is one of those things that are always being threatened to be taken away from you. So it's something that you have to fight for constantly. And I feel that in the last couple of years, I think we've been trying to give away our freedoms.
Give away our freedoms.
Yeah. As soon as, think about it, as soon as you say that we want to give away our guns or take away our guns, boom, that's our Second Amendment right there.
Yeah.
And these freedoms are not given to us by the state or by the government. They're given to us by God. The freedom of speech. You see how you can't say what you really want to say. Like, try to put something out on Twitter that is a little controversial.
That's facts. You can't even, like, certain comments, it gets deleted immediately. Or if they deem it, there's this new thing. If you're on a social media platform and then there's a message that is, like, completely contradictory to, like,
The narrative.
a standard, it'll say, it'll have a message on it that says, not in so many words, but basically it says, like, this is fake, this is labeled as fake news or something like that.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
say it on there.
I've seen that a couple times.
So they try to, yeah. So you are right about that. I don't know, man.
But then think about it. They're not, because sometimes, like, things don't just be a black issue. Because I feel like even when it came down to the, what was it, the whole Karen thing?
Mm-hmm.
Where they were calling white women Karens for calling the police.
Yeah.
It made it to the point where white women were scared to call the police because they didn't want to be deemed as racist, right? Like, that was a big thing. If you call the police on some black folk, apparently it's about race. But there's a story that just happened in Baltimore. I don't know if you heard it, where a big tech CEO, she was killed in her building. Like, all right, so what happened was she let a man in her building, 6'4" black dude, tattoos on the neck and all that stuff. She's a big tech CEO, so she stays in a pretty wealthy area. And she let him in the building, and come to find out he got out of prison early because Baltimore is one of those cities that's ran by Democrats. So he was able to get out 5 years earlier than what he was supposed to, for sexual assault. And then what happens? He gets out. He tries to kill one lady, slits her throat, but
She didn't die.
she didn't die. So the police was looking for him already. He found this lady, followed her to the house, and the lady let him in. And the only reason why she would let him in, he don't look like he's supposed to stay in this building, but she doesn't want to be that person to be like, I'm judging him just by his looks. Because people are scared of that. So it's not only black people who don't want to call the police or don't want to deal with the police. It's white people as well. And it's because of the propaganda that we've been fed for the last few years. With black people, it's even longer because the whole, don't snitch thing. So,
Yeah.
yes, we are unsafe because the government does let a whole lot of bull crap come through in our foods and all that stuff. But did we opt to be even more unsafe just by following certain narratives?
I could say that, yeah, because people are more concerned about what they look like as opposed to the truth. And you can see that in everything. You can see that in the clothes we wear, to the things that we choose to watch or laugh at. You get called a nerd if you're doing this, or You know, obviously with dressing, people wear makeup and people have, you know, fake jewelry on to have a persona. And so when it comes to protecting yourself, if you know something, people withhold information just for the sake of not wanting to be called a snitch, or even not wanting to be called a snitch or a Karen or whatever it is. So I do agree with that. Like, I do think that the way that we perceive the perception of ourselves is not honest, so it forces people to do whatever they feel like is accepted instead of what is right and true for themselves. And that has caused unfortunate events to happen that probably could have been prevented if there wasn't so much emphasis on the way you look or whatever. And that's pretty sad, because I got, like, there's people with identity crisis and, like, you know, 40-year-olds that can't even, they still dealing with childhood traumas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of that. That's difficult, man. That's a difficult way to live.
Would that be them trying to be the, what would you say, not
Cool.
yeah, just to be be that stereotypical black person, or just to be that, just to have that look. Because a lot of times I don't think that people understand, even when it comes like down to snitching or being a rat or whatever. People don't understand, like, if you're a civilian, you kind of can't snitch because you're a civilian. You pay taxes. If somebody's breaking into your neighbor's house, call the police.
And that's how, like, what they call it, the not the neighborhood watch, but it's basically like, if this is your neighborhood and this is happening, it is your business.
Yeah.
It's not your business just because it's not your particular house. This is your neighborhood. The problem with that is, when you do call the cops, or if you call whoever, if you say something, people will assume, they'll attribute what's happening to malice. So they'll think that it's immediately, if you say, hey, I don't know that guy is going to be judged. And what if it wasn't something bad? You know what I mean? So he's going to already have he's already going to have this connotation about him. So when the cops do show up, they already on 10. And that's how stuff like that happens. They pull up with intent, like, oh, we got an intruder.
But they usually wouldn't be coming up like guns drawn or anything like that.
Not guns drawn, but you know, they on edge.
There is a proper procedure to have, and look, they're gonna have to sort it out. But I'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes down to certain things.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's breaking into my house, I want my neighbors to call the police. And plus, even if it doesn't affect you initially because it's not your house, bruh, what if now people think that you can just break in houses over
right.
here?
Oh, this neighborhood's sweet. They don't
now
even...
you got a high crime neighborhood. You pay a certain amount for your house. Now the property value went down.
That's 100%.
It's the same thing when people graffiti their neighborhoods. Dog, your grandma bought this house, not you.
Mm-hmm.
So now it don't have the same value that it used to. And I think that's when it, again, like I'm saying, it goes into with the culture as well. Because it goes into, we can even talk about it with the music.
Mm-hmm.
And how we came from this form of music, let's say like Motown or something like that, and now we evolved to like Sexy Red. Like, or devolved to Sexy Red.
Devolve.
Like, it's like we accepted certain things, and it's like, okay, if you accept this, like, bro, that means I keep pushing the line, and we kept pushing the line with everything. Now that I'm a little older, I can kind of understand Dolores Tucker a little bit. It was like, Pop, maybe she was just a little right about certain things. Certain stuff probably shouldn't have been out there like that.
Who's Dolores Tucker?
Dolores Tucker was the lady who was pretty much saying that rap.
She black
music,
or white?
Black. She a black lady. Like she was pretty much saying that the gangster music or the gangster rap music wasn't healthy for society, and we need to get it away from the kids, and it's going to destroy the black community, and they ain't doing nothing but disrespecting black women and yada yada yada. It was a whole thing.
All right, I got a question.
All right.
Okay, it used to be that music that wasn't. Here's the thing: it's freedom of speech, right?
Yes.
So like everybody can say whatever they want in their songs. You know, Sexy Red is saying what she knows. She comes from that area. That's how they talk.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what she knows. So that's what her music is.
Mm-hmm.
So that isn't the problem. But I remember a time where my favorite rappers didn't get no radio play, and they were called underground rappers.
Yeah.
And you had to goddamn find them on LimeWire, or goddamn, if you ain't know about the show that they was doing over there, you ain't hear they stuff. Whatever happened to that? Why they just letting anybody and everybody get on stage and give them a whole bunch of money and record deals for stuff that's obviously, it's not, I don't want to say not talent. It's not really talent per se. It's not talent. No, it's not talent. It's literally just words being said and beats being played loud, but it's not talent. And like I said, I'm like, why can't them type of rappers have their place in the underground and let I don't know, like, I think it should be a skill gap. Why is
the skill no longer a criteria for certain things? And why they?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna say, oh, they ruining hip hop. I mean, whatever you want to call it, they're ruining it, or they got this going on, that going on. They talking about this, whatever. But I'm like, there used to be a place for those that couldn't make it to the radio. But now it looked like anybody can say anything and get on the radio, and now they doing interviews, they in TV, they in everything, and I'm like, how? Not even saying nothing.
Well, my friend, that is a internet thing.
That's crazy.
The internet did it. The internet pretty much blew people up. And what happens is, record executives, they only go by numbers. They only look at numbers. So certain stuff, especially stuff that we see today, a lot of it is based on the views. And as long as you got the views, it doesn't matter what your actual content is. So these executives and the people who run Google,
and the views are coming from children. Let's be straight.
Yeah.
The views are coming from kids.
I mean,
little kids. I'm not talking about. They ain't even everybody 18 under. That's where all the views coming from.
So what happens? Somebody puts out a song called Pound Town and says some of the most interesting things I've heard in a rap song. And nobody's heard anybody do that before, so they're like, oh, let's keep watching it. This can't be real. Let's keep watching it. And they keep watching it, and that's fact. As soon as they see that, they only see the numbers. It's like, hey, this person looks like they're getting a whole lot of stuff. So boom, they get them on the radio, and then they put a machine behind it. That's all it is. It's the same way that they did with any type of propaganda in order to mold and shape the culture. And it's not so much as trying to mold our minds and make us change our mind. It is the kids, because they're impressionable, so they're worried about the kids. We gonna die before these kids do, so, you know.
Shoot, it ain't looking like it, man. These motherfuckers.
Yeah, they are kind of wild.
They on some other stuff. They on these pills. They on other stuff.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, these motherfuckers is on like Blue Chew and stuff. And they younger than us.
Yeah, that's kind of the crazy, and that's who they marketed to too. Like everything that, even down to the OnlyFans stuff and all that, They are just trying to poison the minds of the youth to want to deal with debauchery, because at the end of the day, that's all it is. That's all it is. It is straight debauchery. They want us fat. They want them dumb. They want them slow. They want them unable to defend themselves or this country. They just it's like fifth generational warfare, where they just coming at us with everything in order to make it easy for them to take us over, because they know they couldn't do it. Any country couldn't do it with the military and thing. That's why like apps like TikTok exist. Yeah.
I still ain't download that, John.
It's one of those things that I just have to be on it. I don't.
You
really
got
want
to, right?
Yeah,
You're a media personality.
It's just like I don't want to. Believe me, if I get some money, $10 million, you will never hear from me again. But you know, that's just on a personal note. But
I feel you, bro.
do you think there could be a way to change and turn this thing around and change the culture, or do you think we're pretty much on a downward spiral and there's no stopping?
I definitely think there's a way to change the culture. I'm a firm believer in. That doesn't really matter, but like my algorithm for my social media is totally different than it could be. So my algorithm consists of a lot of things that empower me. It's all about self-improvement. It's about wealth building. It's about, and then I got my stuff that's on the universe and the power of vibration and frequencies and things of that nature. And I think it's weird because you're so right, bro. Like, knowledge, it only comes to those who seek it. And so the reason why people's minds is fucked up is because they say that all of this stuff is happening to them, not realizing that it is what you're putting into it. That is why it's feeding you that. If all you look at is ass and titties and this and that and money and sex and drugs, that's all that's going to keep coming out of all of your social medias, all of your commercials, all of your TV, everything, and it psychologically programs you. So the people that want the knowledge, I feel like it only takes a handful of those with the knowledge to put it out there. That's going to, because I mean, think about it. Rappers are like here and there, here today, gone tomorrow. Now they not. It's no. So I looked at just a snippet of the BET Awards, and it was everybody from our generation performing. Yeah. Lil Wayne, T.I. They even had Marley Marl, the freaking DJ, the producer, giving him props, giving him his homage for coming up. So I'm like, all right. So they see that, yeah, we got the little niggas. Let them have a song or two, whatever, and then we got. It looked like. Because I only looked at, it was already about 45 minutes in, and then I turned it on and looked. And they were showing the lineup for the rest of it. And I was like, these is all our people. So, these new rappers in this new society, everything is constantly changing. So, I think because of the speed at which it changes, people it's going to be easy to be like, oh, this is not cool no more. And the trend can change. And then the stuff that's been lasting for a long time, we always go back to it. Yeah. They remaking movies from back in the day. They redoing books that were read. They redoing. So I think it's going to be, it makes sense that longevity comes from, or the place that longevity originates from, the things that have lasted, I think they can win. But it is very tough at the same time. Because it takes a collective group to, like, cause it'd be weird. Like I listen to certain stuff and I'd be like, it seems like it's a big community, but I guess it's not. It's just big to me because I center myself in that. So I see it everywhere. Like I can't go nowhere without seeing some kind of motivational quote about, hey, you got this, you about to win, and you know, speak this into your reality and create that, and this is what you are, and you have to believe that that's what you are to have it. And like those type of mentalities, I think when certain people speak it, they can believe it. And so I think that more people in certain areas have to conform to that or have to become that, so then they can, because like if you see your friend do something that seemed like it was impossible and they're in your immediate circle, it really gives that group of people the courage that it can be done.
Yeah. So
just small minds and stuff like that, they get together. I was just with a group, and they're extremely intentional about everything they do, and they're spreading love slowly but surely. Because at the end of the day, it's about how much we love each other. And when it comes to humans, I'm starting to understand that more so. It's just about the love you have for yourself first that can branch to other people. Because when you get around somebody who has a lot of love for themselves and others, you can feel it, and it just makes you think different. It happens to me a lot, I'll be honest. Like, people can, I don't know, like they feel comfortable or safe around me or something like that. I don't know what it is I'm doing, but I'm glad that people feel that way, because that's how I want them to feel. I want you to get around me and feel like you can be yourself authentically. You don't have to act like this or that. And, you know, we can laugh and share whatever it is. So, I mean, I guess circling back to the original question about, like, do I think that it can change? It can, yes, but will it? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's too saturated, bro.
If we're talking about probability, I believe
it probably can't. The only way it can is like if it happens like over there, like there's this area here where it's happening at, but everywhere else it's not. And it's gonna take people to. That's why it was like what they say. Go to, like we moved to Africa or to Mars or whatever the fuck it was.
I believe. I agree with you a lot. Self-love thing. I don't like self-love. But when it comes down to actually us being able to change and this thing turn around, I believe it can happen. Will it? Probably won't, because people are so set in their ways. It's kind of hard to change wrong folks. But I believe the first thing that we have to do is go back to God. Like, get back into the Bible. This is a Judeo-Christian country. If you don't read the Bible, at least find some type of higher power that you look towards. I would still say go to the Bible, Jesus Christ, all that good stuff. And then after that, you go to building your house up first. You build a strong family bond. You have kids, you have your wife, or you have a girlfriend. Y'all stay together. Learn how to raise the kids. Then also reach out toward the community. Build a stronger community. You don't have to have like major cities, but have a strong, tight community. Talk to your neighbor once in a while. Actually know your neighbors. A lot of people don't even know their own neighbors, and it's wild to me. Like, it's the wildest thing. But
that's fast. We got a neighbor he just moved in. I gotta make a point to see him. Literally just moved in, so I got some time. So it's been like a week. Yeah. I don't think he's even gotten all this shit in, but I definitely gotta say something, bro.
Yeah, get to know your neighbors.
That's my next door nigga, and he gonna see everything.
Just in case something happens. And especially in the world that we live in today, you don't know. It could end up like the Red Dawn in China or Russia could try to invade America, and you ain't got no help.
Right.
They could cut out the food, and now your neighbors is trying to rob you.
Facts. That's facts.
At least try to get to know these people. And also, I do see a glimmer of hope, because I see so many people online that are like buying chickens, planting their own food, learning how to filter water and all this stuff. People are exercising more, and like they're trying to get into the woods, doing hunting and fishing and all that stuff. So
I work at the bank, and that's a good point you made. Like, that's why I said I feel like there's a chance, because I get a lot of, I have met several people ages like 20 to 27, 28, before they're 30. And they all talking about, like, there was this young guy. He already had a lawn cutting business. He had a zero turn. Boy wasn't even 25 yet. there's women that come in and they're doing hair and they're actually having business accounts, and everyone's inquiring about how to build what. Like, that's why I'm like, I think the information is getting around and people are starting to look at the world differently. So I feel like there is a chance. I've like, that's something like from personal experience. Like, I've run into a lot of people that are thinking more differently. Even in my own family. Like, I have family members that are now being more concerned about their health. You know what I mean? Like, he going to the gym now and don't eat after 6 o'clock. Like, little stuff like that. Like, just integrating little things. And I feel like I'm seeing people's eyes be more open. Like, they understand that a lot of the standard ways that we were taught to live are there to benefit the government and not us. So now people are thinking about, look, I got to start my own business. And I got to, you know.
I see a lot of people homeschooling because they're starting to see the educational system there just to actually control your kids and how they think and just put them from the schoolhouse into a warehouse. So it's a lot of change. I can see it. Billy Aaron, appreciate you for coming on here, man. Kicking it with me for a minute. Untitled discussion. To the people out there, y'all stay safe, man. Don't let any of this propaganda convince you not to protect yourself, especially to the women out there. It is your duty to use your woman's intuition to know that danger is around, to know that you have to protect yourself. That's pretty much all I got. I'm your host, TJ Evans with Untitled Discussion. Y'all do the YouTube and Rumble thing. Comment down below, like this video, subscribe to the Royal Family Studios page, and Billy Aaron, tell them who you are once more.
Once again, man, Philly 215 straight flexing on IG. Music, actually, I think I might have said the music page wrong. It's the music page is, oh, it is. It's the_Illy215. Yeah, man, we're just out here to spread love, be positive, have a good time, man. Peace out. Thanks for the invitation, my brother.
Man, no problem, man. Y'all stay safe, man. Y'all stay prayed up. Go outside, touch some grass, talk to your neighbors, and stay informed. Peace.